Hi, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Ume 3-light semi-flush / pendant. This is going to be the 12-1373. This is listed as a semi-flush on Hubbardton Forge's site and our site, but I've done this as a custom pendant to make it much longer than what you see as standard product, and it came out great. It came out so well that I think we should kind of be able to show people what we've done. Let's talk about the glass to begin with. So ume is basically Japanese for flower blossom, okay? Hand-blown glass. Hubbardton Forge sources their glass from only the best glass blowers all over the world. It looks exactly like a flower, really beautifully well done. The top has an embedded screw machine threaded piece here so it can go onto the fixture itself. The inside of this is sandblasted, which makes this frosted on the inside, so you're not going to be able to see your bulb. It's just going to be a gentle glow. The outside is going to be glossy and milky, and it's just an incredibly incredibly beautiful piece of glass just on its own. It's used on a lot of different things. I love it to death. Okay, now let's move on to standard product and talk about the size of that. So we're going to be talking about the distance from the ceiling to the bottom of the lowest piece of glass, and that's going to be 14.7. The diameter of all three glasses together is coming in at 12.4. Now, when we talk about custom, Hubbardton Forge, since they're here in Vermont, only 30 minutes away from us, we do custom with them every day. We can change designs that are standard designs to something that can accommodate a customer's needs. And on this one especially, I've worked with people who wanted to put them over kitchen islands, and maybe two of them coming down, because maybe the kitchen island was a little bigger. They wanted to get more light in the room, put good task lighting down like what you see here. Task lighting is the kind of stuff that you can use when you're chopping vegetables or reading, that kind of thing. But this really fit the bill for something like that. And what they basically would do is they would tell us the overall height they're trying to attain from the ceiling to the very bottom piece of glass, and then like what's the next staggered one up. So you would have one here, you would tell us the next one coming up and the next one above that. And it's easy to do. It just looks so great, and there we are. Okay, canopy up in the ceiling, 7.5 inches in diameter. I want to show you a little bit more information about the inside of this and how it all works, and how we're going to do it is to look at the installations instructions now. So if you are on the page for this on Handmade in Vermont, look over on that side of the screen, midway down, you're going to see a link. It's going to say click here for installations instructions PDF, so open that up for me. It's going to show you a full parts list. It's going to show you what kind of bulbs that we can use. It's going to show, well, actually, we'll go over the bulbs in great detail in just a second. It's going to be using a G9 socket, and we'll talk about that too. But it's going to show you how to put the glass on, how to put it together if there is much to put together, how it goes onto your standard 4-inch junction box. It's not very heavy at all, so you don't have to worry about that. The going back to the custom idea on this before, like I said before, we've put this in over people's kitchen islands, but we've also put this in stairways. I think this is a great one for stairways, and it has to go on a flat ceiling. That's going to be pretty important because there's no pivot points at the top of this. Okay, so kind of remember that. And again, you would tell us what you're looking for. It's such a timeless design that even 30 years from now, this is going to look just as good as it is today, and it can throw a tremendous amount of light if need be by just using the correct bulbs, which I'm going to talk about in just a second. So as we age, you know, we want to put more value into things that are going to be with us for longer. We're not buying just something that's going to be pretty and bright, you know, for a short time. We want something that's going to be beautiful and timeless and carry us through our lives. So kind of remember that when you're looking at these pieces. So let's talk about the light that you can get out of this. And like I said, it's using a G9 socket. You can have 3 of those inside, and they basically go right in there. So historically, these, when they first came out, were for halogen bulbs because there weren't a lot of LEDs way back when. And you could do, and you can still do if you want to do halogens, and they look like that. There's little halogens, guys. 60 watts each in each of those 3 sockets. So it's going to give you 180 watts of halogen light. You can do that without a problem. However, I think there are so many great LEDs that you can use in this. Why not go in that direction instead? So LED wise, it's again the G9 setup. They just pop right in. You can pick up LEDs like these at like Home Depot and Lowe's, Ace Hardware, places like that. However, I picked these up on Amazon just because it's just an easy place to go. I get to research it really quick. Shows me a good array of what I'm looking for. And like I said before, if you're going to be using this in a situation where you want to get a ton of light out of this, you know, you can get these. This is a cob LED. Okay, that looks like a corn cob. This is a phosphorus one. See that yellow pad on the inside? Easy to find as a 40 watt equivalent, 60 watt equivalent, 75 watt equivalent. This is a 100 watt equivalent, so think about that for a second. Think if we're using this, couple of these over a kitchen island, you got 3 sockets in each one. Each one can be a 100 watt equivalent if need be. It'll light the entire room, it'll put light down on the counter like I talked about earlier, and it'll do the job very well. It's going to be important that you buy dimmable versions of these bulbs, because you're going to want to be able to kind of take this from, you know, cooking and getting a lot of light on your cooking surface to being really down like almost like candlelight when your friends come over and you guys are just hanging around talking in the kitchen, you know, glass of wine and a little cheese on a plate, that kind of thing. So like I said before, when you're outsourcing bulbs, just make sure you kind of zero in on something like the dimmable version of it. So it has to be dimmable, remember that. And then the other thing is going to be the color of the light coming out of the bulbs is going to be really important too. So they're going to offer these bulbs to you in 2700 Kelvin. That's a super yellow light, which could look actually very pretty in this, especially when you dim it down. That's going to be kind of like a setting sun. But they are also going to offer these bulbs to you in something called daylight. And you got to remember that daylight in the LED world is not warm. That's that bluish white light. That's like 4,000, 5,000 Kelvin on that Kelvin scale. What we let you use in our showroom, and what I would probably use in this, is going to be 3 100. Yeah, I would probably do the 3 100 watt equivalent or 75 watt equivalent, warm white, soft white, 3,000 Kelvin bulbs, and that's the light that's coming down on this counter now. This looks like incandescent light. People always think this is just warm incandescent light, but it's not. It is LEDs coming from these 3,000 Kelvin warm white, soft white lights above. So that's my take on this. If you are going in the direction of custom, what you do is you email us the information. You're going to say, I'm looking at a 12-1373 in whichever finish. And I would like the bottom fixture to be X long from the ceiling to the bottom of the fixture. The next piece of glass, I would like that to be there. Next piece of glass, I would like it to be there. And you know, an easy way to do this would probably be to pick up some little kids' balloons at a thrift store, a dollar store, something like that, and tie some string on, tape them up to the ceiling, get them where you want them to be, and then measure down with a measuring tape and decide how long you want them to be. Let's get into metal finishes now. If you are on the HandmadeInVermont.com website, look over in the red tabs with the pictures in them over there. You're going to see a Finishes Help Guide tab. Open that up for me. It's going to be a video there of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton Forge finishes, how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be referencing a chart just down below. So scroll down a little bit. You're going to see a chart. You can click on that chart. So you can click on dark smoke. You can click on soft gold. Doesn't matter. Big page will pop up showing you lots of different things in that finish. You can go back to the chart and you'll notice there's letters A's on them, letter B's on some of those things, and that's going to be showing you this range of variants that you can expect to see on different translucent finishes, but I'll talk about all of that in the video, okay? Okay, showroom. Our showroom in Vermont has over 400 Hubbardton Forge fixtures. This is the biggest showroom in the world of Hubbardton Forge. No other showroom is like this. Hubbardton Forge doesn't even have their own showroom. They use this one. What's on display? We have a great tab on that. In those same red tabs, you're going to see a What's on Display page. So open that up. It's going to show you everything we have on display, and including which finish, which shade, all of those things, and what kind of glass it's on there. We're open every day except Sunday, 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We also have an amazing clearance center. Clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's returns, discontinued stuff, showroom samples. You have to come here to use it. Can't call us or email us about it, but it's definitely worth coming in to look at if you're in Vermont. Plus you want to use the showroom anyway because there's just so much great stuff here to see. Our number in Vermont, 802-446-2400. You can email us 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Love to answer emails, and it's sales@HandmadeInVermont.com. So when you order from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is going to be free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. No tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. And we're the only dealer with 90-day returns, no restocking fee. Nobody else does that. Some larger items are going to be non-returnable. It's going to be really important that you are looking at the fixture on that page and kind of scroll down under the description. It'll tell you if that is the case. And that's usually for really big, giant, huge fixtures, mostly that go out on pallets. Okay, that's it. Rush program. Let's talk about that. So rush program, Hubbardton Forge generally takes about 3 to 4 weeks to go out the door. That's production time before your transit time. You always have to add that on too. We offer a rush program that takes you from that 3 to 4 weeks down to a little under 2 weeks it's a very small addition per line item. So if you have like 1, 2, 3 items, like let's say 3 or 4 outdoor sconces, and they're all the same size and they're all the same finish, that's one line item. So it's very inexpensive to rush those kind of things. Don't be afraid to email us and ask about that. Okay, so that's really it. If you guys have any other questions, let us know. We would love to see you in our showroom sometime. And thanks for stopping in.